I'm sharing this beautiful landscape with you as I'm in the middle of a cloud. It's not stopped raining in the last 5-6 days. So, in this cloud, I'm going to be sitting with you and doing my assumptions video. I have my hot cup of coffee. I have all the assumption questions listed in my diary. I'm taking all the assumption questions. With that, let's get started. The first one is from Devjani. She wants to know, आपने पढ़ाई कितनी करी है? What are your education qualifications? And Sushma says, you appear to be somebody who's highly educated. What is the reality? All right. So before I get started on my education journey, I have to say that, I'm somebody who's obsessed with learning, and this switch didn't happen from the beginning. I was a very, very mediocre student, barely got through school, hated studies, and if you were to ever meet any of my teachers from school, they would be like, hey Bhagwan, the headache of the class. I had absolutely no concrete plan. Life, I think, took me on a point where I had to make decisions, and I realized the importance of being financially independent. So really, my education started from the day I realized that the most incredible thing you can do for yourself is to be educated, in the sense that you know everything about something and you also know something about everything. Every year I do at least 2 qualifications. I might do a course on Coursera, which I think is brilliant. I might also do something on a one-to-one basis with someone else. I just have this huge thirst for learning. My core area of interest is psychology, counseling. Then there is customer relationship, which has also been a part of my career. And the third thing is leadership. Why don't I take sponsorships, and why did I make that decision? Now, it is amazing to me that how influencers are really in demand, because on an average in a week I will get at least 3 to 4 requests for sponsorship, and I'm still a very, very small YouTuber. And I've been getting these requests right from the time where I was at, I think, under 10K. And I don't understand brands. They just say, ये product ले लो, इसके बारे में बात कर दो 4-5 minutes में, and that's it. The goal behind my channel is not really to just do product review. For me, it is more important to educate on why the product is important, why the ingredient is important. But in the long run, should you be really spending your money on the product? Because skincare has become so complicated. I think कहीं पे हमको एक स्टेप लेना पड़ेगा कि हमको ये 45 masks नहीं चाहिए. We don't need these 10 actives. So I really want to ease out that whole confusion. What interests me is, am I able to educate the person who's spending those 5 minutes with me? And if I'm not able to achieve that with most of the products and brands, I'm not going to take on sponsorships. There's Kaho saying, how did your daughters react to me starting a YouTube channel? Were they worried about how their friends are going to react? My daughters were extremely accommodative and very, very supportive. And I think that comes from the fact of the way I have brought them up. I honestly believe you can lead your life 2 ways. One, you can lead a life depending on how the society wants you to lead, or you can lead a life in the way you want to live your life. Both of them have their pros and cons. For me, very clearly, the choice is that I'm going to live my life on my terms and my terms alone. So my daughters have been brought up to lead a very authentic, very honest life. I feel, don't hurt anybody, don't be rude to anybody, and don't, consciously endanger someone else. Just lead an honest life and just be yourself. And so they respect that about me equally, just as I have brought them up to do so. Shivi left a comment saying she assumes that I'm a no-fuss person. I don't waste time on things and people that deter me from leading my best life. Absolutely true. I've made a decision long back. It was a very tough road living up to my decision. It was very tough. I remember walking out with 2 children and 5,000 rupees in my bank account. But I've built a life today, and honestly, I'm living my best life ever. I wake up in the morning ecstatic because I know I've lived an honest day. I have my soulmate as my husband, whom I share my life with, and I have 2 brilliant kids. So if you were to take away one thing from this video, I would say lead the life that you want to lead, not the life that your parents want you to, not the life that your friends want you to, not the life that you believe is a lie. बिकॉज हम जब झूठ बोलते रहते हैं वो बर्डन हमारे सोल पर ही बढ़ता है और किसी पर नहीं बढ़ता, और हमको खुद से खुंदक होने लगती है कि हम क्यों इतना झूठ बोल रहे हैं. And all of that comes out somewhere. All the compromises you make in your life, and with an unhappy conscience or with an unhappy heart, starts creating a burden on our soul. And in the end, वो खुंदक निकल जाती है कहीं. हम पेरेंट्स की लाइफ जीते नहीं. मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मुझे को बोलता है इंजीनियर बन जाओ, ज़िंदगी भर इंजीनियरिंग करते हैं, और फिर दिल में भी रहता है मुझे नहीं सुनना चाहिए था, मुझे ये करना चाहिए था, मुझे वो करना चाहिए था. It affects your relationship with your parents in the end, right? It's the same thing with your friends, the same thing with your children. So begin by being so honest with yourself, you'll realize how beautiful and free your life is. ये एक चीज़ ज़रूर याद रखना. There's Radhika who says, I assume you're a skincare hoarder. How do you use all the skincare that you use? Honestly, I'm not a skincare hoarder. I'm very, very conscientious about the products I'm going to use and the products I'm going to review. And that is why I don't do reviews unendingly, and I don't review too many products, because in the end, there are two things. You can continue to review products. You're increasing the amount of plastic you are, buying, or you're propagating, and which doesn't agree with my own principles and ethics. And secondly, I feel you're also kind of increasing the requirement or the need to continuously change products, which is again leading you to this whole issue of not being happy with the products you're using, trying new products. So it's an endless vicious circle, and I don't want to be a big part of it at all. So my channel is a slow channel. The next is Bansari Nayak. She says, I assume you're beautiful inside out. Again, I think that's a very, first of all, thank you for assuming that I'm somebody like that. I get a lot of this assumption about me that, people assume I'm somebody very positive, and I am very honest. I think I have to say I'm very proud of the fact that I lead a very honest life. I am who I am. You take it or you leave it. And I am always very clear about my intention. Number one. Number two, I'm very driven by the need to help as many people as I can. And I do that very, very unselfishly. Am I completely great? I'm not. When someone crosses my path and hurts me or casts aspersions on my intention, I can be really brutal. So obviously, if you talk to those people about me, they will not say that I'm beautiful inside out. They will say she's 100 things bad, right? And that is all right. You have to make peace with some people liking you for who you are, and for some people not liking you for who you are. And I think we have to grow up to a point where we say, "ठीक है, if we know 100 people, after those 100 people, even if 10 people like me for who I am, it is okay. I'm not running for a popularity vote where 100% of the people have to love me or like me. My husband has to like me and love me and adore me and worship me and stand by me even if I do something really bad. And so have my daughters. They're the only three people who really, really matter. So with them, I'm the best version of myself. What's my age? Asks Mehak, and a lot of people have been asking me how old I am. Okay, I'm in my 50s, and I'm somebody who was born old. Atashi had a very deep question. He says, do you feel pressurized from society about having daughters and no sons? Of all the people I knew around me, I don't think people for whom it was important, like my mom or, my mother-in-laws. I've had two mother-in-laws. I've had two set of in-laws. For them or my friends, I don't think any of them had the courage to come and ask me कि लड़के के लिए try कर रहे हो लड़का कर लो. Jivika wants to know about my life. It's a very big question, so I'll tell you in a very, very short, concise way. I was brought up in a very strict household. I was never brought up to follow my dreams or to be somebody who was proud to be a woman or to have a voice, but just because kind of upbringing my parents had. They had a very traditional upbringing. Girls are seen, not heard, not acknowledged. And that's exactly how I was brought up. I was never encouraged to be adventurous. I was never encouraged to make mistakes. I was never encouraged to say, "Acha theek hai, tumko jo karna hai wo karo. Don't worry about the world." I was brought up in the exact opposite way of whom I've grown up to be, right? I'm somebody who doesn't care about the world. I know exactly what I want, and I will follow my dreams irrespective of what the world thinks of them. But I always say that if we listen to ourselves, if we spend a little quiet moments with ourselves, we all know what we are here for. That is a real pursuit. आप यहाँ पर क्यों हैं? आपको ज़िंदगी में क्या करना है? Once you find that purpose, you find that goal, that's what you have to go after. And that's what I have done all my life. I'm somebody who kind of knew how my life is going to pan out. I was very attuned to myself of what I wanted and how I wanted to live my life. And I knew that people who kind of understood what I was after and what my life's purpose was would be with me irrespective. And those who didn't. You can also call it the law of manifestation or the law of attraction and all of that. I truly believe in the law of attraction. I believe in manifestation. I don't believe that it should be done the way most 99% people tell you कि तुम को 40 times लिखो, 30 times लिखो, ये करो, वो करो. अगर सिर्फ manifestation से और attraction से सब कुछ हो जाता तो nobody would have had an unfulfilled life, right? If you want me to talk more about that, let me know. I would be happy to share that with you as well. Tushita says that she assumes I have a big heart with lots of love and care and I live in the present. And Shaurya also has a similar assumption about me. I have to say that's 100% true. I feel if I can give love to everybody, I'm very, very happy to do that. And I like to be caring. I like to take care of everybody around me. And some people take it as an extreme sense of कुछ तो मोटिव होगा उसका, वो इतना क्यों कर रही है किसके लिए? And those who do, I think, is their loss. But I feel if I can make anybody happy, why not? And I have so much to be grateful for in life. I have so much to give. I'm more than happy to give. Then there's Deepika, who kind of shared that how she's had or she continues to have a little bit of a strained relationship with her mother, and she wonders how I meandered my life. This is a question that can take me hours and hours to explain and talk about, but in a very concise manner. Right? My answer is that my relationship with my mother was very, very different. We weren't very close. We've gone close over the years now, but initially we were not. And everything that my mother stood for, I was the opposite of it. My mother stood for tradition. My mother stood for, patriarchy, that boys come first, men come first, and the women should always be piche. They should always be the karta dharta of a family, caretaker of the family, and all that stuff. And I was opposite of that. So obviously we had a lot of, back and forths and a lot of uncomfortable moments and periods of life, actually, extended periods of life. But in the end, I'm at complete peace because I understand where she's coming from. I understand what her guiding principles are. But I also know that I'm very happy today and I'm very content today because I have stood by honestly against what I believed. If I had led a life which I felt my mother wanted me to live, I wouldn't have been half the person I am because, we can't live in congruence to who we really are. That's the one thing I would like for every young girl to take away from this video. Find out who you really are and then build on that. Everything around you will come around. They will understand you. And हमको, like I said, 100% लोगों का love and support नहीं चाहिए. खुद को support करो. जो आपको support करने वाले हैं, जो आपके camp में हैं, वो आते रहेंगे ज़िंदगी भर. This is what I'm going to leave you with. And I think parents are incredible creatures. We have so much to be grateful to them for. And we should have unquestionable devotion and love for them, which is different from leading your honest life. If you know the difference, you'll live a happy life. If you don't know the difference, let me know and maybe we can have a video on that separately. Monika, what is your career journey? How come you've jumped different verticals? All right. So yes, I've been in the IT, I've been in healthcare, I've been in the beauty business. I've also been in I've been an entrepreneur, and my core skill is also counseling. I think when you're building your career in the beginning, first 5, 6 years of your life, you don't really know where your career is going to go unless you have a core skill. Like, supposing you're a doctor, or if you're a nurse, or if you're a scientist, or if you are somebody who has PhD. Can you hear these birds? Most of the time, not able to shoot because these birds create so much of noise. So those are core skills. You're a mathematician. That's all you're going to do. But for the majority of us, like, okay, just for someone like me who did not know कि उसका career कहाँ जाएगा, or did not have a core skill, did not build on a core skill till very later on in life, you realize that what businesses require of you, the work requires of you, is to be somebody who is able to identify problems and solve problems, right? What really differentiates one manager from the other is how intuitive one manager is from being able to lead their team. So, to be a good leader, to be a great problem solver, and to be able to align their goals in alignment with the business. Those are the three most critical skills that you require. Once you know that, then what you are is somebody who is required by most businesses. ठीक है. Business का core requirement is just that, and that is what has worked for me. When I was in IT, I was leading teams, large teams across different geographies. I was based on site as well. What do IT projects require? They require for you to understand technology, which if you are inclined to, you can. I understand technology very well. So with that, but technology is one thing. What do projects require? Projects require that the customer's requirements are this. How do you solve them? How do you solve the problems arising from them? And how do you make sure that your teams are delivering on that? बस वो core skill लेकर I've gone and built my career. And for me, I'm somebody who requires a lot of challenges. I can get bored very, very easily. So once I did IT, then I wanted to do my own business. I started a business in beauty, and we won international awards. We did a lot of innovation. I was leading the wellness for a lot of IT companies. After that, I went back to an IT job. I was a director in a healthcare company where we picked up sales from, I think, when I joined the company, we were at 2 lakhs, and within about 45 days or 2 months, we were at 26 lakhs sales. Why? Because I was able to identify what the problems were and how do you solve those problems. Those are the core skills. And that's what really helped me meander my work through different businesses. There's Dr. Aarti who asked me, how do I manage time? I'm obsessed with note taking. I'm obsessed with goal setting. I set goals every single day. What I'm doing, my day is planned right to the last hour from 9 o'clock to 6:37 every single day. And I think that's one of the most critical things to do, because when you just leave everything in your brain, कि हाँ ये भी करेंगे, वो भी करेंगे, then you're not able to counter time. You're not measuring time. You're not measuring effort you're putting into it. And after some time, you realize, अरे मुझे 10 चीज़ें करनी थी, उसमें सिर्फ 5 हुई हैं. Nupur, is this your true calling, and what motivates you to make videos? Is this my true calling? No, this is not my true calling. What motivates me to make videos is really to be able to help people in taking better care of the skin and hair, and not to go through the dark hours and days that I went through when my skin and hair were going through the toughest period of time, and to make people aware that only topical skincare will not work. Only topical hair care will not work. You have to work from the inside out. The investment you make for yourself on your mental wellness and your physical wellness and nutritional wellness will serve you much better in your life and longer in your life than a bottle of serum or a moisturizer will. Then Ujjwala asks, how do I balance family and work and answer all the questions? Like I said, I am very goal driven. So I make sure that, I am working 6 days a week. Actually, 5.5 days a week. I work on Saturday till 2 o'clock. But from Saturday to Sunday, I will not go back to my videos. I will not do any work. That's the time meant for family. And the same thing when I'm working, I try to keep my personal requirements out of the works thing. So I'm very disciplined about, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm with my family, I'm with my family. It's a little hard initially when you're starting a journey or when you have a young family. But, with me, with 22 years of working, it becomes a self-discipline. So it's a conscious discipline that you have to start with, and then that discipline drives you to better productivity and better work-life balance. Pooja reviews. She assumes I give my best to everything, and I like to lift everyone. Absolutely true. Whatever I'm doing, I am obsessed with it. Otherwise, I will not do it. Do I lift everyone up? Absolutely. I'm here because of kindness of a lot of people. I'm here because of a love of a lot of people. And I know that what you give comes back to you many, many fold. And that stands true for not only love, kindness, and empathy, it also stands true for hatred and negativity. आप जो भी दुनिया को दोगे वो आपके पास वापस आता है is the third law of physics. Whatever goes out comes back to you. Bhargavi asks, why don't I start my own skincare line? I'm too bored to start my skincare line. I've done business, I've been an entrepreneur, and it doesn't interest me any longer. Yet, if it does in the future, I don't know. Before I sign out, I want to leave you with some of the things that have really helped me lead my kind of life. And if you can get some help from it, I would be very, very happy. So I've listed them down. Don't be scared to make mistakes. Lead your life. What's important is recognize that you made a mistake, own your mistake, and correct it. Don't hurt anyone, janmochke. Always choose the path of rightness, choose the path of kindness. Always, if you can, because it will always serve you well. Don't take nonsense from anyone. Anyone. Respect a person's wisdom, not their age. I think this is one of the biggest things I want to leave youngsters with. Just because someone is older to you and is telling you to do something doesn't mean you need to follow them, because a lot of the older people also are lost. So be very clear as early on as you can about whom you want to be the guide in your life. Be yourself. Recognize your goodness, recognize your weaknesses, recognize the darkness in you. We all have darkness in ourselves. Work around the darkness, because it's not good to be in a very dark place for a very long time. Work on your mistakes. Try and correct what you can. And it's all right to have some kind of mistakes or weaknesses, but also be proud of the goodness in yourself. And the one guiding principle that I wish all of us lived by is that a society is really judged by how it treats its most vulnerable: the animals, the children, and the women. Stand up for these three, because they really need your help. Are there any more assumptions? We'll probably do them after another 6 months, because this video took 6 months to do. For more, I'm going to meet you in the comment section.